Hello and welcome to Craftec. Today we are excited to release the installation video for the 78 through 87 El Camino tonneau bed cover. Hopefully this demonstration has some helpful tips and answers any questions you may have about this specialty cover. After receiving the kit, you'll want to lay out the frame and familiarize yourself with some of the parts. Referring to diagram number 1 on the front page of the included instructions, we will mark our rails for the location of the bow receivers, shock mounts, and latch handles. Starting from the end of the side rails number 2 and 3, mark 6 inches from the rear for the handles, 17.5 for the bow receivers, 34 inches for the shock mount, 35 inches for the next bow receiver, and 52.5 for the final bow receiver. There are also a couple of front corner cover clamps. The longer one will be toward the front. With the part locations now marked, we can slide the hardware into the channels. We first see the 2 bow receivers. Then the cover shock mount, another bow receiver, and also the latch handle. And then we just repeat this for the other side. A cordless drill with a 3/8 inch socket makes tightening the bolts down quick and easy. Half-inch wrenches and sockets are used for the shock mounts. A half-inch wrench is used for the latch handle also. Be sure to test the turning ability of the handle as you tighten the bolt. The assembly must be tight enough to hold the handle in place, but loose enough so it still functions. Last of the channel hardware is the front corner cover clamps. The longer one is for the bigger end and the small one for the smaller end. Just finger tighten these bolts for now. We can now begin to assemble the outer frame. The crossbows are numbered and are different sizes. Number 7 is 52 inches and is closest to the cab. Number 8 is 51 3/4. Number 9 is 51.5 and is the closest to the tailgate. Measuring at the widest part of the frame it should be 59.5 inches. Push the U-shaped arms of the aluminum corner into the square channel of rail 6. Bolt the aluminum corner in place using the thread rolling bolts. You will see no threads in the corner because this bolt cuts its own threads as it's screwed into place. Our cordless drill with a 1/2 inch socket makes tightening these bolts very easy. Now we'll connect the number 6 tailgate rail to the side rails number 2 and 3 using 2 more thread forming bolts. To help hold the frame together as we do this, we like to use a small ratchet strap at the front. Next, insert the peg of the plastic corners into the aluminum corners and secure with another bolt. Moving on to the front end, the number 11 hinge rail can be put off to the side for right now. The front corners 4 and 5 bolt to the number 1 hinge rail with 140-degree corners. With the front hinge and corners assembled, we can connect the 2 halves of the frame together. Adjustments may be necessary at this point to make sure that the outer edge of the side rails 2 and 3 make a smooth curve when attached to the front corners 4 and 5. There should also be 3/8 of an inch between the edge of the number 1 hinge rail and the forward tips of the number 4 and 5 front corners. The frame has now been assembled and it's time to attach the vinyl to the frame. To do this, we generally flip the frame over. There's a small bead of vinyl underneath the front that slides into the side of the small C channel on the number 1 hinge rail. After making sure the vinyl is centered on the front rail, we can now begin to flip the plastic over the edge of the frame to hold it in place. Carefully flipping the cover back over, we can now finish connecting the vinyl to the framework. There's a small J channel on the underside of the frame that the plastic must be tucked into in order to lock it into place. This must be done in either a clockwise or counterclockwise manner to go around the side of the frame, across the tailgate, then back up the other side of the frame. The front corner clamps take the place of the J channels at the front, and we can now tighten these into place using our cordless drill and 3/8 of an inch socket. Congratulations, the cover is now completely assembled. We will now move on to installing the cover on our beautiful '84 El Camino. The fully assembled tonneau cover is ready for a test fit, and with the number 11 hinge attached, we can accurately find where the drill holes should be. The most accurate way to do this is to crawl under the cover and mark the hole locations. Inside the cab, the plastic trim under the rear window will have to be temporarily removed for access to our bolt holes. It takes a little bit of forceful finesse in order to unhook the end of this trim. But the good news is you really only have to unhook one side. Before we drill, we are double checking that our holes are accurate and level. We came up with 1 1/4 inches down from the bed lip and 4 3/4 inches from the weld seams. We also use a spring-loaded center punch for a final hole marking before we drill. Now that we're confident where our holes should be, we can use our 5/16 drill bit and drill out the hinge rail holes. Use a 1/2 inch deep socket and wrench to tighten the bolts. The cover can now be put on the bed by inserting the number 1 cover hinge rail into the number 11 bed hinge rail at a 45-degree angle and lowering slowly into place. Now we will install the bed shock mount. We recommend 15 inches between the 2 shock positions. This should also come out to 22 inches from inside the rear corner. And using our triangle shock mount as a pattern, we mark the holes again with our spring-loaded center punch. An 1/8 inch drill bit for the holes, and a Phillips head bit for the screws. Before putting the shock on, pump it up and down once or twice. And the smaller shaft end needs to be at the bottom. We will repeat this for the other side, double checking our 22-inch measurement, drilling the holes and mounting the bed shock mount. This donor El Camino had a bed mounted battery box, and that's what that black box is in this video. And no, it is not included with the kit. Sorry guys. The shocks can now be pushed onto the cover shock mounts. And the cover is ready to be opened and closed for normal operation. Now we need to install the handle catch. With the cover in the closed position, turn the handle 90 degrees towards the bed wall. Mark the ideal place for the handle catch. Drill and screw into place. The procedure for closing up the bed is as follows. First, close the cover, turn the latch handle, and the pull strap must be flossed between the cover and the rear corner of the bed. There needs to just be a small amount of the strap hanging out to give a slight tug on after the tailgate is closed to release the cover handles and open up the cover. Also, secure the vinyl hinge bib attached to hinge rail 11 to the chrome strip on the cab wall with the attached double-sided tape. And there you have it. We know you'll enjoy your new El Camino bed cover. Be sure to check us out at crafttechcovers.com, Instagram, Facebook, or just call 1-800-CRAFTTECH. From all of us at Craftec, thank you very much for watching our video.